So I got my new Epson Artisan, and I'm telling you, I was almost overwhelmed with the plethora of paper types, sizes that can all fit into this one little machine. So I took a little time and I ran through some of the loading of all of the tasty options, and I'd like to share with you a little bit about what I discovered. Come on over. All right, start by just pulling out the little paper tray here on the bottom. And you can see already we've got 2 levels. Pretty fancy pants, huh? All right, well, let's start at the bottom and work our way up. I understand that's how it works in the corporate world. So if I just flip this top tray up, it shows me that I've got, what does it look like here? Letter size paper already loaded up here in the tray. So let's say we were going to get even fancier. Let's use some legal size paper. How about that? Well, how are we going to fit it in there? Well, let's start by taking the letter paper out first. So I pinch on the edge guides here to give us a little bit more room to work with. And I pull out the letter size paper. Let's set that aside. And I've got a stack of legal here. So let's grab this and load it into place. Wait a minute, something ain't right here. Wrong, everything's perfect. I just need to go over here, and you'll see that there's a 2-step process for adjusting for legal size paper. By pressing here on this lever, I can actually pull the tray and make it wider. Then I can load in my legal, adjust the edge guides as per usual, and just to show you how it fits, even though we've got a little bit more space there, this is how the tray will look when it's loaded back up. All right. Legal schmeagle, you say. It ain't matter a whit if I can't mail this stuff out. Well, let's try doing some envelopes then. All right. Start by loosening up these edge guides again, and then pulling out our legal paper. Set that back over there. And I don't need quite as much real estate as I did for that paper, so I can close that back up again. Now I will grab some envelopes here. It's got a little logo, a little company address on there. But what about getting an address here in the middle, our to address, if you will? How am I going to get it in there? How am I going to know which way is what? Let me show you. Now, the first thing that you'll notice is there's a little diagram here that will show you that anything face down, that's where the printing is going to happen. And that's what that little symbol means there, and to line it up into that corner. So if I know that, the only other thing that you need to know when loading in an envelope is the bottom is going to be along this edge here. So if I have my envelopes like this, I would need to flip them upside down, keeping the bottom edge here with this bottom edge. Load them in, and then adjust the edge guides. Just like that, our envelopes are loaded and ready to go. If you have any doubts after you've already got it in there, remember the little floppy fold-over part here should be facing in this direction. You can use the same tips when loading in your letterhead. So let's get these envelopes out of here. Put them aside. And here I've got some letterhead. So when dealing with the letterhead paper, just remember again that we want it to print on this side. We want the letter that we've written to print here on this side so the address is there. So again, we're going to have to make sure that this is face down. And in this case, the top is going to be the back edge here. So we'll just want to flip the paper like this. Make sure we've got enough room with the edge guides. Tuck it in there. And then go ahead and make it snug with the edge guides again. Now remember, it's always a good idea to use the edge guides to make your paper snug and hold it in place, but you don't want it so tight that the paper can't move. So if you give it just a little wiggle like that, you'll make sure that the paper has just enough give to be able to slide into the machine easily. we've had lots of fun with the bottom tray. Now what's happening up here on the top? Well, looks like we've got some 4x6 photo paper in there. And if you're ever curious about whether or not your photo paper is loaded correctly, just check to see if you can read the watermark. And again, you want to have your printed side facing down. And the watermark on the back of the paper is a good way to tell that you have it face down and ready to go. So we're using 4x6. What about another size? Well, I happen to have some 5x7 right here ready to go. Let's try loading it in. Once again, we're going to adjust these edge guides. Take out the 4x6. And look at this lovely 5x7 paper. So big, thirsty for your photographic printing. And get it into this machine. All right, I've got it loaded up. Now all I have to do is adjust the edge guides. And it is ready to go. Here next to the screen, you'll see a little button with an icon on it. This button's called CD tray. And if you push that button and lift the screen a little tongue is going to come out. And on this tongue, you can place a printable CD or DVD that your artisan can print on. Now that's a lot of crazy fun. All you have to do is place the disc on the little tray that comes out. I know, I call it a tongue. It's my little thing. And once you've got it on there, simply push the CD tray button again, and it'll retract the tongue. All right, tray. Now you're ready to print on a printable CD or DVD. And it's just that easy. The last thing to remember before you start printing is to pull out your paper output tray. Just like that, it's ready to catch all of the tasty printouts that you've been making. Now, sometimes the artisan can get a little excited and it starts going high speed on you. Now, it's just trying to satisfy you, so don't hold it against him. Just do this one last little measure and flip out this little piece here, and it'll make sure that all your printouts stay securely on the paper output tray. So many exciting options here. I mean, you can print on almost anything. I wonder if I can print on my shoes. I think I need to call somebody about that.
Epson. Exceed your vision.